What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Kellen here from Android Life. What we're going to do today is go through the unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab from T-Mobile. This is the T-Mobile version. We've gone through and showed you the Verizon version already over at Droid Life, but we got a hold of another one, the T-Mobile version, and Android Life gets the honors with this one. So anyway, this is the box. It's a little bit fancier packaging than we've seen with, say, the Verizon version. So if you want to look at these together, you know, Verizon kind of went just standard gray, says Verizon on it, stuff like that. T-Mobile sort of spice it up. It's a little more shiny. You know, there's some, you know, watermark graphics on there. Talks about some of the features on the back, like Kick comes pre-installed, and so does Asphalt 5. And yeah, overall just looks pretty sharp. Nice box. So let's bust it open and see what we got inside. So this is the T-Mobile version, so it's a GSM version. This is, it's a 3G GSM version. And 16 gig SD card pre-installed. It's got about 1 gig onboard storage, so that's on there. It comes preloaded with the SIM card, which you'll see right there. And yeah, this is it. So protective sheet on the front and on the back when you unbox it. It's kind of interesting because the Verizon version did not have the protective sheet on the back, so not sure why they decided to go with that or not. But yeah, we'll put that aside for a second and show you what else is in the box here. You get your power adapters on this side. So these basically just fit together. Let's see if I'm smart enough to do that. Fit together, USB goes right in there, charger on the wall. And then over here is your 30-pin USB charger. See that? 30-pin. So it's not just a standard micro USB, it's actually 30-pin to charge this bad boy. And the T-Mobile version actually comes with headphones. So Verizon version, no headphones. T-Mobile version, you get headphones. And then on the inside we got, standard start guides, tips, and terms and conditions. And that's pretty much it for what's in the box. So let's get to the good stuff, power it on, and see what we got going on here. So let's see if we got any juice. So T-Mobile, so when the Verizon version pops up, it goes straight to Samsung, then goes to a sort of a Verizon wireless splash screen. This goes T-Mobile, and then a little more animated Samsung with sound and everything. So just slight differences between the two. Sort of interesting to see how each carrier still is able to tweak it and make it their own. So let's do a walk through the outside actually. So on the right side here, see if we can get you some good light on that. So we got power lock button up top, rocker volume switch right below it, your micro SD slot right there, expandable up to 32 gig. It comes preloaded with a 16 gig. There is your SIM card slot down below that. On the bottom, we got stereo speakers, and so speaker here, and there's your 30-pin adapter, power adapter. And then on this side, we just have a mic. So it doesn't actually make calls, although this T-Mobile version has been hacked to allow it to actually make calls, which is kind of cool. Then on the top, you just have your standard 3.5mm headphone jack. Okay, on the back, so Galaxy Tab. It says T-Mobile down here, really small. Then we have our 3-megapixel camera with flash up top. And then on the front, of course, 7-inch capacitive touchscreen. You got your 4 soft keys down there. And then up top, what a lot of you really care about is that little guy right there, the 1.3 megapixel camera. Okay, so video chatting definitely in there. So let me just show you the Verizon version comparison. So you can see label-wise. You know what? Let's take that off so we stop getting that glare. So Verizon and T-Mobile version, you can see Verizon, we got the big logo here. Over here it's actually Galaxy Tab is sort of featured. T-Mobile down here, Samsung down here. This is going to be sort of hard to see, but the the T-Mobile version is just pure smooth black. There's nothing added to it. The Verizon version actually has this sort of rough, can't really explain that. It's just kind of got little bumps going across the whole thing. So they did do a little bit different stuff with it. I'm not sure which one's better, which one's, what the reason was behind it. But yeah, Verizon version has a couple bumps. T-Mobile version is just straight shiny black across it. So, okay, anyway, let's peel off the front protective sheet and unlock it. And here we go. So this T-Mobile version, Galaxy Tab. And when we pull it up, you can see they've got 5 screens going on here. You can go up to 9 with these, and you can sort of pinch to zoom. It gives you a preview. You can go plus and keep adding them. You can long press to delete them. Okay, so you can go up to 9. They do sort of set it up for you a little bit. They set it up less on the T-Mobile version than they did on the Verizon version, but you'll see with the T-Mobile version we get a couple exclusives, like it comes preloaded with Kick video chat. That's not loaded on the Verizon version. But it does come preloaded on this, and then you also have Asphalt 5 and the Kindle. So there's your My Account. So it does come preloaded a little bit, and it's not quite as filled up with screens of widgets and stuff like that like the Verizon version was, but they all have the exact same stuff basically. So if we go in the app drawer, you can see there's actually a lot less bloatware apps and stuff like that than we've seen on the Verizon version. So if we swipe to the side, you really have 1, 2, and then one other app on there. So you don't even have 3 pages full of apps. So you're not going to see that whole VCast set of apps. Those are Verizon exclusives and stuff like that. So the T-Mobile version is a little cleaner, I will say, just after looking at it really quickly. Let's go ahead and show you some of the inside. So it's definitely running Android 2.2. So you can see that right there, 2.2. Okay, so it's running the newest Froyo build. It's got sort of a different look to it. The Galaxy Tab does. In our settings screen, you can see it's white. And a lot of our phones are actually, they're all black. So they've tweaked that a little bit. So I want to just really quickly show you the browser in action. Since it is running Android 2.2, it also has Flash on it. So if we go ahead and pull up Android Life, let's go ahead and pull that up, show you a video in action. Android Life, for those of you new to us, Android Life is our sort of sister site, which basically covers general Android news, while Droid Life, of course, focuses still on the Droid brand and mostly just Verizon news in general. So, okay, so here we go. So browser, it's a fully featured browser. It's about as good as you're going to get. It does have animations in it when you flip it, landscape and portrait. And let's go ahead and show you video in action on it. So Flash is one of the big draws to it. Can't get that on the competitor, and it actually runs really well. So let's go ahead and go landscape on this just so you can get a look at it. And I'm still running on 3G, so we'll see how this does. I haven't connected to my home Wi-Fi network yet. So I'll show you Blinky, the preview for Blinky, the creepy Android lookalike movie. So there it goes, pulls up YouTube embedded Flash videos. All you do is tap play, and it should just go right into it. So you can see T-Mobile's 3G actually not doing too bad. Crank it up there. So you can see it runs really great. I mean, that's on 3G still. There's not a lot of lag. It's loading it up fast. Oh, there, we finally got a little slow down there. But it ran fast when it was loaded. If I had it on Wi-Fi, the thing would just cruise through that. But it's got to load all that data up in order to run. But yeah, no problems running Flash. Flash actually runs really well. So that's the browser. It's just your standard Android browser. We can go ahead and look at other bookmarks we have. You can add bookmarks. It does have a download manager, so it's sort of tweaked a little bit. Samsung with the tabs has kind of done some nice little tweaks to their TouchWiz and to their just the stock Android. So it's basically a stock experience, but it does just have some nice little tweaks here and there that make it a lot more user friendly, and to also make it have this sort of special tab experience, sort of tablet experience that you won't find on a phone. So we'll go through that. We'll show you some more browser stuff, show you benchmarks and stuff later, but yeah, I just want to show you that real quickly. All right, so it also comes with little parts of Samsung's custom UI that they put on top of Android called TouchWiz. You can see that up top with the black notification bar. Okay, so if we pull that down, these are actually the good parts of TouchWiz. You get your shortcuts for all your toggles for your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, all that stuff. You can also lock the device so that it doesn't auto rotate, which is kind of nice. But it also has auto brightness, which is a pretty cool shortcut just to have. Most phones do it automatically, but to be able to toggle it on and off just through your notification bar is kind of nice. So you can go really bright, or you can just leave it auto. Preserve battery, does about 6 to 8 hours worth of hard use basically. So it's got a good battery life. It's not changeable. You can't interchange it or anything like that. You can't add battery to it, so you're stuck with that. But it actually lasts pretty well from just some of the testing I've done. Okay, so we'll do a quick just sort of walkthrough of some more TouchWiz stuff, and basically these are some of the things you can just do with it. So we have these 2 dedicated shortcuts down here, just like we have on stock Froyo, but you can actually change these out. So if you long press on them, see, I can drag that off. I can get rid of that. So if I don't want my general email app, I can actually put Gmail in there instead. So now I got Gmail in there. You know, you got your browser there. You can change that if you want to. You can create all those shortcuts. So TouchWiz, you know, you can pinch the zoom like I showed you, and it gives you more screens and stuff like that. And then you can choose one, and it'll take you right to that. This does have this feeds and updates thing. It has some special widgets that you only find with TouchWiz, but for the most part, it's fairly stock. There's not a lot of extra add-on stuff like we saw with TouchWiz. It's more of just your standard Google experience. So you can see right there, if we go add widgets, sorry, I went to shortcuts there. You know, we do have the AccuWeather clock. So you can set that up to be, you know, whatever city you're on or city you're in. You can also, you know, it's got calendars, it's got a calendar clock, it's got this daily briefing widget, which is like, it's AccuWeather, Yahoo Finance, and AP Mobile, just news, general stuff, but you can't really add other categories and stuff to it as far as I know. So sort of an interesting widget that most of us might not use all that much. Other than that, there's the feeds and updates, which you can add, you know, your news feeds to your blog feeds like Android Live feed. It's got, you know, latitude because, you know, it comes with Google Maps. Picture frame, power controls, does have Slacker radio on there, does have a Yahoo Finance clock, but you know, it doesn't come with a bunch of weird stuff like HTC Sense, you know, it has a whole bunch of different special widgets and things like that. They pretty much kept this about as stock as you're gonna get. There's not a lot of extra fluff going on there. One of the things with the tabs, since the screen is so big, they actually went with 5 columns on here. So you can see we got 5 icons going across the top for apps. So one of the things you can see that's not really looking right is the Google search bar. So it only takes up 4 because it's used to, you know, our phones. So you can't really center that unless you have Launcher Pro or something like that. But really, so it looks, you know, a little odd. Like I could put an app right next to it right there. So it's kind of weird. So there's some little things, you know, they've said Froyo isn't necessarily a tablet OS, and you can tell just with things like that that it's not necessarily one. So yeah, so that's sort of the home screen walkthrough. If you go into the app drawer, you know, I showed you earlier that there's only a couple pages of apps, but it is, you know, a horizontal app drawer. It's not the vertical scroll like we've seen on normal stuff. So that's another Samsung sort of tweak in there. If you want to move stuff around, you can hit menu, and then you can go ahead and edit, and it will actually let you move, should let you long press, and you can slide these around. Okay, as far as I know, with the Verizon version, you can't do that. So the T-Mobile version does let you do that, which is actually a pretty nice touch. With the Verizon version, everything's locked in, and all the new apps you download sort of go to the back, and that's pretty much where they stay. You can't necessarily move them forward as far as I know. Don't quote me on that, I'm sure you can, I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. But anyway, so that's the app drawer, and it just goes, it's actually an, you know, infinitely looping app drawer, so you can go to page 3 and flick again, it goes right to page 1, so it's kind of cool there. They do come with the All Share app. So the All Share app hooks up to, you know, a DLNA TV or you know, like a Blu-ray or something like that. It actually does let you, you know, share all of your media and stuff like that. We'll go through a walkthrough of that later, but yeah, you know, otherwise pretty standard stuff. It does come with a task manager, which I highly suggest you never use because they are pretty much worthless with Froyo. Not sure why they keep preloading them on there. Also comes preloaded on the Droid Pro, so we'll tell you not to use that either. But yeah, it does come with Asphalt 5, so there's games. We've actually done a gaming walkthrough on the Verizon version, so you want to check that out. It's at our YouTube channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it, the app drawer. So, you know, like I said, we're going to do a full review. We're going to talk about it. We're going to take pictures. You know, we're going to show you the camera in action, show you the quality of pictures that it actually takes. You know, the front facing, the back camera. We'll do video chatting. We'll do all that stuff. We'll give you a full walkthrough. Get you guys all up to speed on this Galaxy Tab stuff. So anyway, check us out the blog. We're Android Life. That's an.droid-life.com. We're out. Peace.